not normal to have a refinery shut down for over a year. That's pretty atypical. So the challenges with restarting a refinery are a little bit greater, and you have to take some additional precautions to make sure it's done well and done right. So just an example of some of the extra challenges and things you see. We've had rotating equipment, pumps, compressors that normally are well lubricated, continuing to run. That type of equipment's been sitting for over a year. So now you got to make sure all of that is ready to go and ready to be restarted. Electrical equipment, we have a lot of safety systems to ensure the safety of our processes. A lot of those systems, both for controls and safety, they've been shut down, they've been de-energized. So now you have to re-energize them again, test them again, make sure they're all functional and they're ready to go. Normally you have hydrocarbons or other materials in the pipe and equipment. And so for over a year now, the inside of that equipment, those pipes have been exposed to air. And so now we have to make sure that we check all that out, make sure that the air hasn't caused any issues with corrosion or other things that could affect the integrity of the operation. Those are just examples of many things we have to check. The key to starting the refinery up safely after this length of time is to have a very disciplined, a very detailed process of checks, to check everything that we know of, and to make sure that as we start the process, we've looked at everything we can, and we believe it's ready to go. And then as you actually start the process of starting up, bringing utility systems online, putting hydrocarbon in the units, we always have very detailed procedures on how to do that. We have to follow those detailed procedures. Again, very disciplined process, but we'll actually introduce extra steps in those processes that may not be typical. We're going to call them hold points, where we'll get to a certain point in the process and we're going to stop and we're going to go back and do some extra checking, make sure everything looks right, everything, there's no leaks of any kind, there's no smells, there's no noises, everything looks and sounds like it should. And so we'll put those extra precautions in there. But it's going to be a very long, slow, steady process. But we think we got the people and we think we'll get it done. And we're in an unusual situation because we're in this restart process and we have this large restart effort going on. So as we speak today, and you look behind me in the refinery, we have somewhere around 1,000 contractors who are in there helping to refurbish the refinery and get it ready for restart. And that process has gone on for a couple of months now, and hopefully in the next month or two we'll be winding that down. So those are contractors, and in a refinery operation you have those periods where you do projects, where you do major maintenance, and you bring that level of contractor support in. So that's pretty typical for a refinery. As far as ongoing operations, you have a core group of your own people, and we'll be hiring about 550 people who'll be PBF employees and will be here day in and day out. And we're about close to 90%, 85–90% done on our hiring. We have all of our operations and maintenance folks, and we're continuing to bring some of our technical support folks and other staff in here just to complete the process. There's been a number of studies done on refinery operations, and for every person that works in the refinery, the additional support people and the additional jobs that a refinery supports, the multiplier that people typically use is a 5 to 6:1 ratio. So if you have 800 people that work here, it's really, you're talking about the refinery supporting maybe 4,000 jobs in the community. The way PBF and the way we view the world is we need to have a license to operate, and our license to operate is how well we do. Do we affect the community negatively? Do we affect the environment in a negative fashion? Or do we operate well and not do those type of things? Do we operate the refinery safely? If you don't operate the refinery safely, if you don't operate the refinery in an environmentally responsible manner, you will lose your license to operate, and we understand that. So it is critical that we do that. It's critical we gain the trust of the community. But you said it exactly right. It's more than words. You have to demonstrate it every day. That's not to say that we're not going to have our challenges. But over time, hopefully we can demonstrate that we know what we're doing, and the community will value us as good partners.